Trump is facing bipartisan political backlash over the White House's response to the deadly shooting. Chaos is erupting outside a Minnesota hotel. Suspected of housing ICE agents, 26 people have been arrested. Listen, shit is boiling over. You know when your mom said to watch the pot, and you decided, all right, yeah, I'll check it because, ramen is for tonight, because mom's tired and whatnot. So the best thing that we have, and admittedly, we haven't gone to the grocery store in a while. So like the best thing we have is the $1 ramen right now. So mom told you, hey, watch the pot. It's going to boil over if you don't watch it. So you went ahead and you played Mario on the DS for too long. And then you went over into the kitchen and the bubbles have formulated over the top, guys. Like it's too late. Your mom's going to be pissed and you got to restart the pot. You probably are going to have to scrub the top because listen, there's salt in that water. There's salt in that water and it's going to fucking rust. It's going to rust that shit because it's not an electric stove. You think we're rich here, guys? We don't got an electric stove here. It's a gas stove. We're dealing with a gas stove. It's boiling over. Mom is mad. Like you're getting a wooden spoon. I'm sorry to say it. It's too late. President Trump is facing a rare wave of bipartisan backlash following the White House's response to the deadly Minneapolis shooting involving federal agents, not ICE, interestingly enough this time, Border Patrol. The administration initially used a lot of sharp rhetoric, as you might be aware of, to defend the incident. Some officials labeled the deceased person an assassin. Interestingly enough, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are now demanding a transparent investigation. I mean, is there any reason to be going down to the cities right now?
Yeah, they said they were going to the Twin Cities.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, that helps a lot. The tension, guys, it's not just in Washington. Chaos is erupting outside of Maple Grove Hotel. Protesters are believing federal agents were being housed there. It began with a noise demonstration. It quickly escalated, A noise demonstration is literally where they just honk horns, they blow air horns, all that sort of stuff. It quickly escalated as police and demonstrators clashed, leading to an unlawful assembly declaration. Authorities report that the property was damaged and objects were thrown at officers, marking a sharp peak in the local resistance against the federal presence in the Twin Cities. Guys, we have footage of it because obviously we do. I don't know that anyone is going to be getting. I will leave this clip in the description so that you can watch it for yourself. But to me, it's very evident that shit just got out of hand. You know what Okay, these guys, admittedly, you got to give Border Patrol one thing. ICE, they tackle the people and they have like 7 guys on them. Border Patrol, they have like 2 guys tackling the person and then the other 5 or so are walking around trying to like establish a zone around them to make sure that they can create the arrest. Listen, I love it. I think that the level of proper police work at hand here that you can see in this video, it's actually I'm just gonna say it. I think Border Patrol is 100% in the right here. I might regret that pretty quick. Damn. Yeah, these are demonstrators that clearly, at least from what I can see, listen, I'm absolutely protest, record people, do what you need to do. Don't throw cans. I'm sorry. You're gonna make the protesters look bad. I'm sorry. I can't support you if you make protesters look bad. That's just not what I do. I don't doubt that you're all citizens, but listen, everybody goes, they don't have the authority to arrest a citizen. Yes. Kind of like how a police officer, you don't have the right to arrest a citizen. Technically, no, but if you committed a crime, they do. They're instituted by the federal government. They have the authority as delegated by the Department of Homeland Security. Sorry, but you do have to respect their authority. You got to do it. Holy shit, she busted her lip. Damn. They got Justin Bieber on the ground. This is horrific. Let him go. We're supposed to be making an album together next week. Let him go. So yeah, the hotel standoff. 26 individuals were taken into custody. Man, if you needed any more evidence that there's a deep divide in this country, I mean, the real Oracle came out, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, we have the Oracle. We have the Baron of Truth, Jimmy Kimmel, who is here to delegate to us the one true opinion. Hello, Jimmy. Stop cheering. I'm going to skip you.
Went on the air 23 years ago tonight. You weren't with us yet, Guillermo.
No, I was in the parking lot.
I love Guillermo. He's that fun little
You
nugget.
still make love to celebrate tonight.
The same, yeah, let's do
It
it.
was a very different time back then.
He's so
23 years
cute.
ago. It was better. It was a better time. I
23 years ago was a better time. Hold on a minute. You're saying that 2003 was a better time? I mean, admittedly, I was not born yet at this exact moment. I would be born in a few months, but I don't know, maybe it was better. The surveillance state certainly didn't exist to the degree that it did, and we didn't, we didn't have the towers. But, you know, America was still united around the idea that we needed to fuck up towel heads. That's their words, not mine.
Like probably a lot of you did, looking at my phone and just feeling shocked and sick about what is happening in Minneapolis. These one video after another, screaming people being torn from their families, Americans, people who were born in the United States being pulled out of their cars for the crime of having an accent or whatever, children, small children, babies being tear gassed, taken into custody.
Ladies and gentlemen, ICE they're beating up babies. It's true. It's you know, Jimmy Kimmel said it. It must be true. ICE is beating up babies. They're like literally, if you have a child in a stroller, the ICE might walk up to you and just drop kick the entire thing.
Their parents, just one atrocity after another being committed.
Atrocities.
By this gang of poorly trained, shamefully led, mask-wearing goons, and that is what they are. They're goons committing vile, heartless, and even criminal acts. And it's
I don't think he knows what goon means anymore.
sickening to watch, and it's frustrating to watch. It's like we're all being forced to play a game that has no rules. They just make up the rules as they go along. We see these videos in which we clearly see one of our fellow Americans executed by ICE, and they won't even admit that it was a mistake. They say that the Honda
Absolutely,
SUV
they
Renee
should.
Wood was driving was weaponized. They say the gun Alex Preddy had a license to carry in an open carry state. All right, many of these same people screamed very loudly about when it was Kyle Rittenhouse carrying the gun, a gun that.
Don't steal my point, Jimmy. I made that point yesterday. I made that point. This video came out 10 hours ago. My video came out around 23 hours ago. I said it first.
Preddy did not even draw, did not touch a gun that was taken from him by one of the agents before he was shot dead by the other ones. They fired 10 times on an ICU nurse. They're telling us, well, it was justified, you know? Is that the law and order that you voted for, if you voted for this? Every day is a nightmare now. My wife and I have family in Minneapolis. They're afraid to take their kids to school. They're afraid to go to work. And I can only imagine how people...
Are they illegal? I'm curious why they, in particular, the Kimmel family... Not the most diverse name that I've heard in my life, you know what I mean? I understand if you're afraid of the social unrest, but admittedly, the Kimmel family, you're going to be all right, I'm just going to let you know.
White feel about this? How does this end? What's the plan here? Is the plan to just keep doing this in every city that didn't vote for Donald Trump? Does anyone on any side believe this is good leadership? We keep saying we need to find subjects that we can agree on. Can we agree that peaceful protesters, including moms driving SUVs on their way back after dropping their 6-year-old off?
And that's where he loses me. She didn't need to involve herself for 3 minutes to block up traffic. And I'm sorry, it's at the officer's discretion by the point when you tap them with your car. It's unfortunate that it happened, but she involved herself and she didn't really think about the consequences. She should have been at home with her kid, admittedly. She should, because she had that baby. Everybody wants to feel so bad about her baby. Her baby's dead and what? No, not dead, but the baby's mom's dead and it's never going to see the mom again. It's really unfortunate. Maybe if she was busy raising the kid and not fucking getting involved with local politics and getting nutty in the sense, like, not getting involved in local politics by holding elections or, like, getting the community registered to vote. She was interacting with politics by obstructing federal officers and impeding their investigation. Maybe not trying to attack them, but obviously just, getting in their way. Can we at least agree on that, Jimmy? Can we agree on that, Jimmy?
Off at school, and a nurse who stepped in to protect a woman from harm don't deserve to be shot dead in the street by the people.
I would agree that they don't deserve to be shot dead. It's unfortunate that the Renee Good situation happened. I will 100% condemn the second shooting because that one obviously was ridiculous. The Renee Good one, it's arguable. And it's ridiculous that people are trying to lump the two together when they're very obviously two very different situations. It's weird that I'm condemning Border Patrol's actions in this instant, but ICE's actions in that one case were arguably more defendable than Border Patrol's. Isn't that a little weird? That's a little strange.
People we are paying to protect us. Can we agree on that? I mean, can we agree that when we see a person murdered in cold blood, that there should at least be an investigation of that?
Well, yeah.
Ironically, the title head of Homeland Security has the responsibility to get facts before telling us that what we saw we did not see. I mean, if we can't agree on that, forget it then. This one seems pretty open and shut to me. I think we can agree on this one. It's on video. Look at it. Do your own research. And then once you form your own opinion without being told what you saw, say something. Where are the reasonable voices on the right? I mean, we don't have to agree on everything, but come on. If that was a group of trans swimmers shooting a guy for making a cell phone video, you'd be heating up the electric chairs right now. Admit it, you would. Let's cut the bullshit already, because it may be Fox, but it ain't news.
Agents reasonably thought that they were in danger because a gun was produced. If he's armed and they knew he was armed...
Produced?
It was imperative for them to take him down.
And now here, literally a guy pulls a gun on an ICE officer. He defends himself.
When you're seeing a gun in your face and you're in the scuffle, then you have to, again, assume that is a gun.
And you could tell in that moment that they saw something or something spooked
Nut.
them because they all back off all of a sudden, and then you hear shots fired.
You've got an armed individual, somebody holding a gun up to Border Patrol. Of course you
This
are
is
going
not
to see
true.
reaction.
Do you think these are all just local Minneapolis folks who have decided to go out on a sub-zero day?
Only one person could have prevented this from happening, and it's Alex Petty. What he did put agents in a situation where they had to use deadly force.
These officers very well could have prevented a major mass shooting of multiple officers today.
Oh, please. If that was ISIS instead of ICE, we'd be firing missiles at somebody and pledging allegiance to the flag altogether right now.
Why does Jimmy always do that? He always does these weird things where he says, if so-and-so was doing that, you'd be mad. If so-and-so was doing this, we'd be mad. It doesn't... they're all hypotheticals, and a lot of them are kind of ridiculous situations that are not remotely realistic to any extent, so you can't actually sympathize with the imaginary version of yourself. So I don't know. I know he's a comedian, but it's I kind of miss the Man Show when he would make women kiss and when they didn't want to and stuff. When he'd be like, "What's better, tits or ass?" I miss that era of Jimmy Kimmel. Does everybody else remember that? Remember when he did blackface and he was like, "Man, I love that me some good chicken and watermelon. When I play me that basketball," and everybody for some reason memory holes it. I love you, Jimmy Kimmel.
Video, watch every angle, as upsetting as it might be, and decide for yourself if that's making America great. And if it isn't, please say something about it. This has to stop. And I'm convinced now that the only people who can stop it are on the right. I know it takes a lot of courage to go against your tribe or whatever it is, but that's what we need. We need some decent people.
Says the one who is still going, the Renee Good case was a case of an innocent lady who was driving down the street and got shot in the face. Knock it off. Knock it off. If you really want people on the right to be realistic, you're gonna have to be realistic yourself. I'm sorry. It's just true. It's just true.
on the right to show some courage and some common sense.
They should.
And our leaders aren't even
And so should you.
reduce the amount of chaos in the street rather than exacerbating it. If our leaders are intentionally creating and encouraging violence and fear, then I hope you will also agree we need new leaders, because these are not leaders.
And this is only going to hurt. This is only going to hurt the right in the midterms, which are heating up. They're getting closer and closer as every day is getting. Isn't it nutty that we're already almost done with January of 2026? I mean, that's just wild to me.
Overnight, more protests in Minneapolis ahead of a change in leadership in immigration operations in the city.
Yes, Gregory Bovino's out.
Gathering outside the hotel while protesters believe Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Gregory Bovino has been staying. For weeks, Bovino has overseen the surge of immigration enforcement in Minneapolis. Sources now tell ABC News he'll be leaving the city as soon as today, with many Border Patrol agents leaving with him. Border Czar Tom Homan will take over instead. As the Department of Homeland Security investigates the killing of Alex Preddy, they now say they're reviewing body camera footage from agents on the scene, which captured the shooting from multiple angles. So did several graphic videos taken by eyewitnesses.
They have just shot a man. They shot that guy.
By 8:56 Saturday...
I don't know how that... Did you hear that guy in the background? They shot that guy! How was she more masculine with her voice than he was? They shot that man! She sounds so just powerful with it, and he goes, ah!
At least 8 federal officers had arrived on scene for what...
He's just shaking. He's just shaking because he's gonna get shot next.
Holding his phone, seemingly recording federal agents making an arrest. The situation escalates. Officers shoving multiple people, both of Preddy's hands visible, one holding his phone, the other hand held up, appearing to try to shield himself from the pepper spray, and a group of officers taken down. At 9:01, this federal officer reaches near Preddy's waistband and pulls a gun that Preddy had a permit to carry, and then 10 shots fired in 5 seconds. Eyewitnesses horrified.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing this.
Just hours later, Commander Bovino accused Alex Preddy of wanting to massacre law enforcement. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem accused Preddy of domestic terrorism, and White House advisor Stephen Miller cast Preddy as a domestic terrorist and an assassin. The White House refused to condemn Noem and Miller's false statements.
Loonies.
Now there has been a shift in communication between the president and Minnesota's Democratic leaders. Trump said he, quote, seemed to be on a similar wavelength on a call with Governor Tim Walz about working together. Walz said the president agreed to consider reducing the number of federal agents in the state. And Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says in a call, the president agreed that the present situation cannot continue. Alex Preddy's family continues to defend their son, saying he protested because he cared about his community.
What's funny is that the photo that a lot of, I saw this on NBC and I saw this on other news outlets. Sorry, it's not MSNBC anymore. It's MS News, MS Now or whatever, anything. I don't know. It sounds like they're saying multiple sclerosis now, and so I don't watch it. But they used AI-edited photo of Alex Preddy. They were like, oh, he's too ugly and too Jewish, so make his nose tiny or pin his ears back and shave up that Ari Shaffir beard that he has. And then they shared that photo instead. Sorry, but it's true. I think that they were just like, oh, man, this guy looks like an anti-Semitic drawing from World War II.
He cared about people deeply, and he was very upset with what was happening in Minneapolis and throughout the United States with ICE, as millions of other people are upset.
Thousands continue to visit his memorial at the shooting site, devastated and angry. Zach Hall paying respects in sub-zero temperatures.
Overwhelming anger, sorrow, grief, and just the feeling that I'm not doing more, and just overwhelmed with emotion.
And the White House says Commander Bovino will return to his base in California. Meantime, overnight, Alex Preddy's sister Michaela released a statement to the AP. She said, in part, hearing disgusting lies spread about my brother is absolutely gut-wrenching. George.
Trevor, you've been there for several days now. We just saw you talk to that resident talking about anger and grief. What's your overall sense of how the population is reacting to what they're seeing?
They're not burning down targets yet, thankfully enough. You know what I mean? They've managed to keep a lid. They've managed to keep. Excuse me, I was talking. They managed to keep a lid on all that sort of stuff. I'm happy. Let's keep it calm. Let's have fun sitting on lawns and, letting law enforcement know that we want some level of change but let's keep the mandatory distance that I set, 30 feet, ladies and gentlemen, 30 feet for your safety.
Within his own party over how this immigration crackdown is being handled. Mary Bruce at the White House tonight.
Tonight, President Trump facing a rare and growing backlash from members of his own party. Some big-name Republicans, including the governor of Texas, now urging him to, quote, recalibrate his immigration crackdown. Others denouncing the administration's rush to judgment after federal officers killed Alex Preddy.
He was there to perpetuate violence.
Even as the
You are there to perpetuate lies.
Killing, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem quick to accuse him of domestic terrorism. The president labeling him a gunman. Deputy White House Chief of Staff Stephen Miller calling Preddy an assassin, a comment reposted by Vice President J.D. Vance. But tonight, the conservative editorial board of the Wall Street Journal writing bluntly, the Trump administration's spin on this simply isn't believable. The conservative New York Post writing, Mr. President, the American people didn't vote for these scenes, and you can't continue to order them to not believe their lying eyes.
If the New York Post is speaking out, man, that's a sign.
Ted Cruz saying the administration's tone should be more measured.
Immediately when an incident like this happens, they come out, guns blazing, that we took out a violent terrorist, hooray. Escalating the rhetoric doesn't help, and it actually loses credibility.
Today, I asked the White House. Secretary Noem said Alex Preddy committed an act of domestic terrorism. Stephen Miller labeled Preddy a domestic terrorist. Does the president agree with them?
Look, as I've said, I have not heard the president characterize Mr. Preddy in that way. However, I have heard...
She's the white Kareem Jean-Pierre. She's the white version of the lying black lady from the Biden administration, and I love her. I love her so much because I love her big sweaters that have, like, little buttons on the side for no reason. I love, what is this? Is this Press Secretary Barbie? I think so.
Heard the president say he wants to let the facts in the investigation lead itself.
Tonight, at least 29 Republican members of Congress demanding a full investigation. And conservative Texas Governor Greg Abbott says it's time for the White House to recalibrate their immigration enforcement tactics.
As we know, Greg Abbott will not sit for this.
Go about their job in a
Get it? Because he's crippled?
more structured way to make sure that they are going to be able to remove these people without causing all the kinds of problems and fighting in communities that they are experiencing right now.
David, it's clear the White House is trying to change its tone tonight. The president speaking today with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Also, late today, speaking with Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry. But when asked about Secretary Kristi Noem, who said Preddy committed an act of domestic terrorism, the press secretary said Noem has the, quote, utmost trust and confidence of the president. David.
I'm sure she does. We love Kristi Noem. We love the governor of South Dakota. You know, she represents a truly nothing state. You call Fargo, North Dakota. You call North Dakota in general a nothing state. South Dakota has less than nothing. They have the hills where General Custer found gold, and then we carved our leaders' faces into the side of a mountain. That's the most that state has to offer. Deadwood is a stupid historical site. No one should go there. It's a kind of a waste of time. But no one wants to admit it because the Old West fascinates a lot of dads, and they want to bore their families. Yeah, we're going to continue to follow it as it continues, as you all know. It's one of my favorite, favorite in the sense where I love to cover my home state. I love the fact that we've gotten a lot of press coverage as of late, but damn, I wish it could be more I wish it could be for like fun scandals. Like, I wish Governor Walz would cheat on his wife or something. I wish that, Jacob Fry would come out as gay. Finally, about time. I'm sorry. I saw him at the Gay 90s the one time I was down there. You know what I mean? It's like, I think I shared a cigarette with him. I'm 90% sure.